Okay, everyone, welcome. I am doing a live chat, oddly, this week right now in the car. It has been a day, but I have promised a fellow author that I would do this today at this time, so I am going to try my best. And let's see if I can get her on the line. I think. Let's see if she's live at the moment. Don't see her as of yet. How's everybody else's day going? Hopefully better than mine. Let's see. A car live event. Interesting. Hello there. Okay. Waiting on my co-host. It's been a day. There we go. Let's see if she sees this. Hello?
Hi.
Hi!
I was going to say, nice to meet you. Oh my God, you're in your car.
I am. It's one of those days, but I just pulled off the road. The traffic was too bad, and I was like, we're going to do this in the Lowe's parking lot.
My God, you didn't have to do that if you had something to go to, take care of. Then
At this point, my dog is left at the emergency, and I was just making my way home, so I don't have any specific time to be home. I just felt a little bad since totally the day has been nothing like I expected it would be.
life happened. So yeah, I just got on. I'm like, hey, Katharine may or may not make it. Life happens. So take care of the fur kids first. So, but
Well, thank you.
without having to go into detail, we're doing good.
Probably not. It's she has a history of cancer, so it's probably something related to that. Yeah, but we won't know until tomorrow when the doctors can actually get a little bit closer of a look. So it's been a nice day, but I am here in my car.
Okay, if you're up for it, I'm like, we'll let that go for a little bit. I'm sure you've been dealing with it all day long. So yes, been there, done for sure, multiple. So
Well,
that was one.
let me apologize because again, I don't know how the surface is in this parking lot. So if I lose you, again, I'm trying. But nice to meet you officially.
Yeah. I know I'm always commenting on your videos and show me the swords and this and show me that. So
Well,
yes,
I can't show you them live this time.
that's okay. The little one, her kid is more important. So, and that was one of the Adam's on. I did a live with Adam over in the UK a little while ago. He does fantasy as well, doing rocking it on TikTok. So yeah.
Okay, so
now it's bad.
So tell me a little bit about your books. I like to always start off like us talking about each other's books just briefly because obviously you have viewers of your own and vice versa, and allows everybody to know their stuff. So I'll let you do your little spiel about your books.
Oh, gosh, and we talk about now. I'm like just so totally unprepared. It's like
You're more prepared than I am. At least you could have a book.
Yeah, so it's like where you got the mindset. So okay, unlike you, I think you have 11 or 12 books. I have one. So got to start, and I could not figure out the reverse filter on this thing to save my life. I guess I don't know. Talon in the Tree
lives yet. I don't know if they have lives yet.
Yeah. So I started out just writing for a local newspaper. Always loved to write. Always wanted to write a book. Ended up in Antigua, married years ago, and the cab driver had pointed out a cotton tree in where everyone would come, secrets in their stories. And I was just kind of thinking, I wonder how many stories trees are.
Yeah.
That's cool to write a story. Use the tree, so forth. So I started researching the tree, and it totally took. And long story short, Talon falls into a hidden portal in the tree, finds the underworld, and he has been chosen to be the island's next kind of a chosen one,
I love
coming of
it.
age. So all of the things that you do to learn to be the healer and how he becomes the healer, because you got the bad guy and all that who wants to be the healer. So a lot of, I would say, YA, upper middle grade, adventure, age, chosen.
I
So
love it.
get a little bit of on TikTok. People, when they hear about more what the book is about, they're more apt to try it. I think maybe my blood hurt me a little bit. So first go around, you're always kind of trying to work that out.
Of course. It's always a learning curve. It is a continual learning curve, no matter
Yes, and
what stage.
book 2 about 65% with my second edits on book 2 to get that out and get it's been to the editor, edits, sending it off to another friend that I met on. She goes over it. She's so she's been a good, awesome help. But for book 2, I'd like to have it out. It was supposed to be out in February, but life in probably about June, because I have the TV takeover that I'm doing here with Nicola Oberod. That's her name, right? So got into that, and I have a couple other promos going. So it's like, okay, our first promos, our first thing, let's go and let's do that. So two nice reviews for some people on TikTok that totally surprised me. That was good. Wasn't family, wasn't friends, wasn't that. So that's good. So I'm a 1 booker, almost a 2 booker.
That's exciting. It's really kind of fun when you're kickstarting your career, and you being a TikToker, that means you are far better off than I was when I released my first book. It took me years to figure out, oh wait, I actually have to self-promote, so it kind of laid stagnant for a while. So you're way ahead of me at your stage.
No, you're rocking it, because I know you had come up in my feed a whole bunch, and I was like, a lot of fun here. One is because it's fun, and I'm like, okay, get a few readers or meet some other people, a whole positive. So, have what, 11 or 12? Did I count right? 12 books?
Oh my goodness. I have 3 book series at current. My first one, my debut book series, is called the Incarn Saga. There are 4 books in that, and the first one is Sara's Claws, kind of kicks it off, and it's a new adult shifter war fantasy set in a kingdom where both humans and shapeshifters, known as therimorphs, have begrudgingly existed for a while, and they have to figure out if they can put aside their differences to fend off a third party coming in that's going to attack their kingdom. So it's kind of the premise of that series, and that was just a fun intro to the whole writing shebang for that. And then my other 2, since I decided to do something crazy and publish 2 simultaneously, don't do it. Yeah, don't do it. But totally different vibes. One, the Jed Chronicles, they have 2 out right now. I'm hoping I can push out a 3rd by the end of this year. But that one kickstarts with the book, The 12 Tasks. Again, in my car, I can't show you my reverse covers. But that one's young adult portal fantasy, kind of like what you were saying. And that one deals with a 12-planet multiverse. My character awakens on a planet not Earth and is quickly introduced that there are 12 magical planets that exist, all different dimensions. And the chosen one archetype kind of kicks off where they're thinking she might be this potential prophesied savior coming to help kind of maintain existence. So that one's my young adults. On the flip side, I'm tampering with adult literature and fantasy, and so I have a dark Viking novella series, and they're all novellas. So you'll see a lot of them, but they're short. They're like 10 or 11 chapters, again, tiny, quick reads, and that's why I've been able to kind of push out a lot of those in the recent years. I kind of put out 4 a year, but again, they're only 10 chapters, so, when you think about it, it's really like a book a year.
Oh, gosh. So, order that you... My dog's... that is in order that you published, that you just... So the first one, that was series, your second.
Yeah, my first series was, like I said, the Incarn Saga Shifter series, and that's complete. The two that I'm publishing simultaneously, I usually put out, or trying to, my goal is, one of the young adult full lengths for the multiverse, the Jed Chronicles series, and then up to 4 of the novellas in a year, just because they're kind of fun, rapid release things that kind of entertain people who want something a little darker, a little grittier, and not necessarily child friendly.
This is true. She's the 12 worlds.
Yes. Yeah, with the
Oh gosh.
Yeah, no, I have these weird diagrams. Not even kidding. I have diagrams because different worlds have different dimensions too. So I have 12 planets, but I've been subdividing them even into more. So my universe, multiverse, whatever you want to call it, is getting very complex. But it's fun for me because that one's definitely mythology based. So I'm focusing on mythos from all around the world. So there's one world that's a little more based around Chinese mythology, another that's maybe a little bit more maybe Mayans, another that's a little more Greco-Roman, and able to kind of express my love of different mythologies by having essentially a world for each of them.
That is cool. That's a ton of work too.
Well, I want to say yes. On the other hand, the fact that I'm just pulling from lore, it's kind of like, how much is it mine and how much I'm just kind of saying, okay, here, I research descriptions all the time. What does this character look like? What is this palace? Does it have any descriptions or this kind of ecosystem? So yes, I would like to say a lot of it's mine. On the other hand, I can't claim 100% because I do have a lot of inspiration already. The groundwork was already laid out there for me.
Yeah, talented in focal and stuff, which again, like I started following it just totally got cut. So I say Adam sending out roses. Look at something in May, so that'll be fun. I'll have to tune in. That'll be great. Adam's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah. So, as far as her books, I'm kind of, that's kind of like my theme to other worlds. Why I started writing what I wrote. What book would you recommend? I don't have any more books, and what else do people like to start with?
Oh wait, sorry. Repeat that again. Sorry. Again, you're breaking out on my end, but I think it's my spotty service.
What book I like folk, the portal thing and mythology and stuff like that. So they start with the 12. Is it the 12 tasks?
12 tasks. Yeah.
Is that?
I would recommend, especially for you, since you write something very similar. I think you might enjoy that one. And the fun thing about that series is that was the book series that inspired me to become a writer, even though it wasn't the first one I wrote. It was actually, a lot of it also is based on characters and ideas that my sister and I developed in our childhood during our bouts of imaginary play when we were just thrown outside and told to just entertain ourselves for hours. So a lot of it was loosely based off of those characters and backstories we developed years and years and years ago. So I like it. It's fun. It's, it's not, there is some dark elements in there, but it's not what I would call gritty. It's clean fantasy. I just like it.
That's cool. So she is a writer.
Sorry, what?
Is your sister a writer?
The funny thing is, she doesn't claim that yet, but she's actually has written her own book, and she's trying to decide if she's going to self-publish it. I think she is, but her writing, interestingly, is more like, at least this one has been described, I haven't been able to read it yet, she has allowed me, is a Southern lit. Kind of, yeah, totally different style than I do, but yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe I have not heard as a niche. Take off. That too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sorry, what?
Are you full-time writing?
Oh, full-time writing, yes, to an extent, because my other side is I'm a full-time artist. So when I'm not writing, I'm painting. It's some kind of artistic endeavor. How about you?
Oh no, Adam's nurse. I would So yeah, that is the goal.
Hey, we love it. You always start with something.
Oh yes, it's just 15 years in EMS, about 12 years nursing. I've had enough dumps. I'm
Yeah.
a pandemic. Yeah, we won't mention that. We're done. We're all tired.
I can imagine. Well, actually, no, I can't imagine when you're in those kind of fields. That's the difference. But
Out of nursing. Oh, we tried, dude. We tried. So no, I would love to sit and look out the window at a pretty view and just make up stories. Have pay me money for it.
that
Like the thing ever.
that is the dream. That is the dream.
This tool. So a full time artist, you that pay the bills. It's your artwork.
Between both of them, I cobble it together and scrape by.
Freaking cool. Yeah, I was looking at your box. I think just Adam's on right end, but yes, I would love. I've done a little bit of like acrylic pouring and just abstract. I'm not as detailed as amazing pet portraits. So I always like doing some creative with photography, or video, or paint. I think that's something with writers, artists. We just do the creative side of things.
Yeah, no, I do think, being a creative, you have various outlets you can use, and, why limit yourself to one when you have so many options?
That's cool. I site and looked at a lot. It is really, really awesome. And I know on your video, I was like, oh my gosh, you paid that? That's so cool. So a lot of kind of animals, love animals.
Yeah, so you have a fur baby too?
I have 2 fur babies.
Yeah.
A big quarter horse fur baby.
I love it. I love it.
Used to have lots of birds, different cats a couple years ago. Always volunteered. Animals never grew up. Kind of went crazy. I grew up and moved stuff. So yes, they definitely keep me on my right now. They've really settled down. They're like talking to the little boy and stop it.
I love it.
Yeah, so I was a little bit more we had, so I rescue and things. Very awesome.
No, yeah, no, I actually was a wildlife rehabilitator for Georgia for a number of years. And so, rescuing animals is a passion of mine in a sense. So, and I think that's why I incorporate a lot of animals in my books in the sense of shapeshifters in some. And I have a whole race of kind of, if you can think of like the ancient Egyptian gods and like the animal-headed deities. I have like a whole race of people that are kind of like that in one of the worlds in my young adult book. So I like to incorporate fur babies, all different ways.
Go around, and that's something that I thought, animals and their own personalities and lives and things. And then I read a book that had talking. I just it's on my TBR. And I'm like, and I don't know, maybe it's a book, names, but I'm like, maybe it's just something I just quite can't get in.
Hey, fair enough. That's the thing is, there's a book for everyone, and everyone has a book.
Book's not for everybody, I have to tell myself that starting out, I love my book and it's greatest things. So you just have to,
Yeah.
What else? Because I just.
Sorry.
What else do we have on our list on the books and things?
Oh well, I want to know. For you, I wanted to know. Outside of TikTok, since you're on, are you on any other platforms?
I'm Facebook, and since I kind of followed it, but I'm getting just I think maybe so long and years going by on Instagram, Twitter. There's Twitter. I can't quite. But it would be my big one, and TikTok a little. Yeah, get back into a bit of a mostly the friends again. So I think by getting on TikTok, Stranger. I think my mom and my sister are here. Other than that, like, okay, let's try this. So you can spend so much time on social.
That's true. That's true. And like, I like that concept that some people say about repurposing things. And so it's like, can you take something from one platform and repurpose it and be able to share it again and then spend less time creating content, which, you know, I do enjoy coming on and creating stuff for TikTok. On the other hand, it takes time out of my day. And as a writer, you have so many things that you have to do outside of writing. And what we want to do is write.
Oh, yeah. Backlist. You let that slide to it. And, you know, for me being on the early stages of it, put off this. I have put it off, but life has happened as well, you know, for book 2. And I was like, man, book 2 was half done at the end of 2020. So I was like, yeah, it's gone. We can sit down. I actually have some. So I'm like, that's all I'm going to do. I'm like, I have to finish. So I have it ready for that TBR over one book shortly after to get that. So I've kind of actually, I might ask you, do you do kind of on the fence if I should put up a order for when this TBR comes around and people see, oh, let's get it. But the other thing is, miss that date.
Yeah,
I don't get that here.
And that's the thing for me. I have done a couple pre-orders, and it just depends on my schedule because I don't like putting a pre-order up until my book is virtually done. Like, I have it back from the editor, and I'm just working on that formatting, the final formats of the book, like, and I have everything ready. I know there are strategies where some people put the pre-order up even up to a year in advance. I think that's the max you can, because they're writing the book and it just allows them to sell something they don't have, which I guess, hey, if it works. On the other hand, what if something happens and you don't make that mark, or you want to do it quicker because you are done 6 months early? Who knows? So for me, I like the idea of pre-orders, but I only do them a month out when I do them, just because I want to make sure everything's ready. I give people a little heads up and see what happens there. You know, it's nice to have those extra sales.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence on that because I mean, the book is done, finishing edits, and lots of good things about it. So I was like, I don't know. I'm going to have to just sleep on it. See how quick edits done. If I can get up these next days, I will probably do. Yeah, that's a trick.
You never know. And it's a good challenge to have a deadline, just because it helps you motivate yourself a little quicker. I'm a big. Sorry, I have a phone call coming in.
Do you need to take it?
No, I just got. I'll probably log off in a few minutes, just because that is my partner calling in. He's probably like trying to figure out what is happening to our puppy. But yes, sorry, I lost my train of thought. But no, I don't mind doing the pre-order idea. You just do it well. And, if you're going to do it, make sure you do the promotion and make it worthwhile, or else why not? And if you've never done a pre-order, and I go through Amazon exclusive, they do allow you up till, I think, 4 days out, 5 days out, to re-upload if you're doing updates or tweaking the document. So you can still be editing, any document, and then, they'll lock it in a few days out because they're preparing it to send out as soon as that day is of to your people. So you can still tweak things.
You're limited. You're in KU.
Yes, I am currently. That is. I like it, but I guess there are pros and cons, and I've heard authors both ways. And it's always interesting when someone goes wide and seeing how their results are, because some people do very well and some people flip to KU, and some people do the opposite, where they liked KU, but then they prefer wide when they've tried it. So I've only done KU, and I'm hesitant to branch out at the moment because the bulk of my sales still come through KU Reads. If that changes down the line, and I've heard a lot of people say TikTok changes and all of a sudden you're selling more print, then maybe I would decide to go wide, because that may be more beneficial to reach people who aren't Kindle and aren't, Amazon fans. How about you?
Huh. No, I'm wide, and I tons of reading and YouTube videos and all kinds of things. Figure out, okay, do I want to be putting all my eggs in one basket? And it's not that I'm against Amazon or Bezos bad or anything like that. It's just like, don't think, if my plan is someday to just my house and play with I think I might one basket. If something changes drastically with their rule, whatever, then that's your soul's come at one particular time. And I'm like, that's a little scary.
No,
So
that is true. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that is definitely very true. And that's why everybody has to decide what they're comfortable with, what they think is best for them. And I've heard people, again, haven't tried it, and I may go through this approach where they'll have certain series KU and certain series wide, so that they as an author reach it all and benefit a little bit from both sides. Now, that means they can't sell everything to everyone, but
yeah,
obviously at that point you also need multiple books. And I feel like I'm not there yet.
yeah, only one. And I talked to 20 books of 50K. Went to the last one was a hoot. So I talked to some people there, and they had just it's still tons of paperback. Why? I don't know. I'm okay with it, but I do see a lot more paperback book, and they're like, just throw the ebook and Kindle on with it. No, because I think probably I launched the book over it's been almost a year and a half, but anyway, maybe 15 sales, and that's even with people that I know.
Wow.
I'm like, that's okay. All right. But I think I'll get a better book. 2 comes out, if I build the newsletter, get a little bit of read through. I think it's going to take a book or 2.
I agree. It takes a little bit of time, and one of the sayings I hear a lot is the best way to sell your new book, your old book, is to put out a new book, because it pushes people to read the first one if you do the right series. So it is nice to have multiple out in that regard when you're doing sales. But
yes, 2 better than book 1, etc. And down the line. Yeah, and I like the guys, Craig Martell. They all,
I have both of his books, and I follow a lot of his chat, his YouTube channel, and some of his chats, because he has those grains of knowledge, which I'm like, ooh, I like that one. I do like that one. So
I like how they both sides. So that was a big thing. Went back and forth in the KUI.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Craig Martell, so he talks about a couple times the Mark Dawson's ads for authors. Yep. So I actually have been working my way through that, and it has helped me a lot. Now, obviously, it's taken me a long time to figure it out, but it has helped me. And I will say I get a huge portion of my sales because I run Facebook ads. I don't do Amazon right now, but I do Facebook ads, and that's a huge part of my sales. I have realized. So I do think it's good to look into. Obviously, it may not work out for everyone, but if you haven't, idea of tampering with an ad or 2 might help boost some sales for you.
And Martha Carr had talked this time and said that don't even try Facebook ads. Have 2 books out, maybe.
Yeah.
And I've not tried Facebook ads, but I think that I'm only on Amazon right now and just a couple promos. But maybe something if I get book 2 out that I might look at. But yeah, I hear those.
That's true. It's better to, I think it's like 3 or more to have out, because again, you promote one book, especially if you're at series, and then you link the others in the back matter so that people continue to buy through, and then all of a sudden that sale becomes 3. So yeah,
that would be nice. That's what that's cool. So what is your
sorry, what?
out of your What is your best-selling series out of the three of them?
Well, right now I only advertise my first one because it's my only full series. So that is the Incarn Saga, my Shifter series. And that brings in right now 98% of my sales, but it's because I advertise it. Now, with that said, my novella series, since I will be putting out the sixth one next month, I'm going to start promoting that, running some ads just to see if that works, and building that one out. And I'm holding off on my young adult because I only have two. So I'm waiting for that third one before I start advertising.
Now, something that made me think of what I wanted to ask about was John, especially since ads your 12th, what is it? I'm sorry, the 12th.
Oh, the 12 tasks?
Tasks, thank you. I have it in front of me.
Hercules, 12 tasks.
So there's how many books in that out, but you're not advertising? You've got how many books?
I have two in that series, and then the third one will be hopefully at the end of this year, and then that means maybe at some point next year I can start advertising that series. But the only way, I talk about that one on my social media and my newsletter, but yeah, because I can tell if I make sales of that, it's probably correlated to when I've talked about it on social media. And then if I don't have it always in front of, the camera or photographs, I'm not making sales just because people don't know it exists. But I do think the ads work, but yeah, you need to have a few more out. And that's tough for authors who are beginning.
Yeah. Yes. And so as far as genre, I'm totally hitting my target readers like completely backwards. So yours is YA or it's middle grade? And also, do you try to hit the fantasy tag?
Yeah, for me, for that one, I describe it literally as a YA portal fantasy. And so I have, depending on how I pitch it, you can have the bigger brackets of it's young adult, sure, young adult fantasy, young adult adventure fantasy, or portal fantasy. And so it's not bad to have brackets to kind of pitch it. And I just use hashtags for all of them because you never know who wants something in a specific subgenre.
I'd be super, sometime later you are doing your for that one, how that's working targets, because oh my gosh, mine are all over there. Which one do I contact? Spread out evenly all over, but it's a little bit more research, grab up, get in there and check,
Yeah, well, one thing I don't know why I didn't realize that if you go on Goodreads, you can search by category type, and even they have some obscure stuff. I put in young adult portal fantasy, and they had a list of young adult portal fantasy books, the top favorites, and utilizing that, you can use, obviously you should probably read one or two of them, but you could always do something of saying, if you like this book, you might like mine. But that was a great resource for me when researching for my other ads, because I was just like, okay, shifter fantasy, that's not romance, because when people hear shifters, they think romance, and mine is not romantic books. Mine is more the war forward, and people die, the Game of Thrones, and not love interest.
I didn't even think I searched that on Amazon, but Goodreads, I forgot they do make all of those lists. So yeah, actually, I was telling you, April's here. Hello, April.
No.
A proofreader on Twitter. We did a live. So, let's see. Oh, gosh, what?
It's okay. No, I was gonna say, I missed a little bit of it. Your inspiration for your book was tied to the concept of going to a specific tree.
Well, when we went to Antigua to get married, the taxi driver just kind of was pointing out things, and he's like, "And this tree, is considered sacred and ancient stuff. Do and tell him, I'm having a bad day, or I have a secret, or they would confide." And when I started researching what that was, I realized all of the mythology in the Caribbean. Characters like Papa Bois, he protects the she protects the. So I'm kind of, the animal lover, the nature.
Yeah.
So as far as Joe the Feather. Oh, it's not here, April. Sorry. I have a bookmark better though. I'll show her. But and it's oh my god.
You got it.
I did get a stamp though to put inside the books. That's been but so I really looked into the mythology and the folklore, and then it just kind of went, well, what if this would be cool. And I always liked Lewis and the wardrobe, the Alice in Wonderland, worlds, and the folklore of having another world under this tree. It just so you took that and twisted and changed. It is something. And I think I had done writing with my right, and we did 1.5 books out of a 3-book series that see the light of day. But I think that was the practice to get the words out, and there was so much. Oh, this was like that, and this it just overkill.
Yeah.
And so I think that first real book out and writing what I really wanted to write about, I think that helped. You kind of you find your voice, or like to what wrap down. So that's kind of it spiraled.
Hey, no, that's good. Always good. And that's one of those things is, as you write, like we were saying, finding your voice. And so for my first book, I know I was in the process of finding my voice, but definitely by the second one, I felt a little, you've got that confidence as well that helps you, and you have some experience, and practice makes perfect, that, I felt like my voice, as you were saying, kind of stabilized a little bit for that series. Though I also argue that it's continuing to evolve a little bit, and that's the thing. The goal is to always improve. So,
yeah, I think, oh God, if I to improve, I don't want to push one because it sucks or whatever. But it doesn't. I've got it's not perfect. Is it going to win an award? I don't know. But like Craig Martell says, is it good enough? Yeah. Is it good enough? You get people vested in the story. You get good editing. I'm totally in love with my covers. I just,
beautiful.
Deranged Dr. Nine got suck up all my slots where I can't get in.
I like your white tiger or your tiger poster in the background. Hello.
That's my. Tigers are my favorite thing on the entire planet, more than air itself. So.
Oh, well, my shifter from my book series is a tiger shifter. And that's because my sister, at one point, tigers were her favorite thing, like beyond all others. So I gave my character my sister's animal to embody, which was kind of
yeah. It was like, oh, she's got a tiger. Start this series, but I think we will. I'm going to pick up that one because research. But I feel like I like to read and support all the people that I've read on here and stuff. So
I have yours. I'm pretty sure I added it. If not, I'll double check. But I have yours on my wish list too, because my goal is to try to read at some point when I can finance it myself. Read everybody's books, but it would be cool to. I also think it's kind of fun to buddy up with other authors and we do a group bundle, event like the Book Fairy, but we're doing a Portal Fantasy.
I would love something like that because with every ounce of my being, that Amazon would Portal Fantasy category. It's driving me crazy because a lot of people are like, "Oh no, this is urban fantasy." I'm like, "It's Portal Fantasy," and they're like, "But it's in modern day." And then he goes to this other. I'm so confused on all the different details and titles and genres. I'm like, what is that?
I think but the thing is, I think you can overlap or have subgenres. Like, there's fantasy, but then there's high fantasy, there's urban fantasy bracketing, and then there's other things. I mean, if you're going to another dimension, it's Portal Fantasy by definition.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What else is it that you can have that long list? Like some of them, I could be like, I have 15 descriptors. I can describe them. They all are accurate. It's, and the funny thing is some people might like one descriptor over another. So it never hurts to pitch different ways.
Oh yeah. Yeah. A little blurb updating, looking at categories again, always do a little housework with the ads and so forth. But that Portal Fantasy category. so bad. So yeah, any kind of group promos, giveaways, boxes, anything, you know. So if you get it, you like it, then
Yeah.
you know.
And
Yeah.
talking about writing blurbs, I read a book recently that I found fascinating, and it's called Seven Figure Fiction. It's a small book.
Oh,
It is by a romance author who's done very, very, very well for herself, but she came up with this concept I think she's coined, which is universal fantasy. And it's her talk, if you read the book, it just talks about how can you, through your blurb and even your writing in general, appeal to pretty much everybody, even though you may be focused on, oh, I think I lost you.
oh, I'm frozen. I can hear.
Okay. Well, it was just a cool concept of how can you make your book appeal to, and you can marketable to wide range, even though, the main category may be one thing, but you can still figure out how to appeal to other people. And it was just a cool little book. And again, Seven Figure Fantasy. I can't remember the author's name off the top of my head, but I've been fascinated by it since I've read it and trying to figure out how I can apply some of her techniques.
Oh, seven figure.
Seven Figure Fiction, I think. Sorry. Seven Figure Fiction.
I was over here taking, apparently I'm frozen taking a note.
Okay, so it's not just on me. I was like, I think I lost you again.
Oh gosh, it goes. Good old technology, right? So,
well, I will say this may be a good point for me at this time to say goodbye, just because it's been a long day in the dog hospital. But I would love to be able to talk to you again, especially when I'm in my room with better service and everything.
well, let's do it. Oh my gosh, I got that note from you, threw me for a loop, and I'm like, God, I feel so bad. I've been I think a lot of have that love our fur babies. So yes, I will let you go. You get with the hubs and keep them updated and go see your little.
Thank you.
I hope come, girl. I'll send up good vibes, whatever I do.
I do appreciate it, and I will probably after this, I'll try to send you a message over the next day or so and reconnect, and then if you really do want to get together and try it again with a little better service, I would love that. I feel really bad.
Don't feel bad. Stuff happens. Oh yeah, I'm always do more lives or a couple others. Yeah, let's do it. I think let you focus on your little one. That's the main thing. And then when you have time or you want to, let's do it.
Perfect. Thank you, and I love talking with you.
Awesome. Nice to meet you finally. Take care of the little one.
Thank you. And thank you for putting up with this.
Oh, God, not a problem. All right.
Okay.
Good night.